his first or second book, the Male Athletes in Love.
Well, that was the third book, City in the Pillar.
Yeah. Was that the most controversial when you introduced that theme?
Well, yes.
Of all your writing?
Not of all. I have caused distress at other times. But,
what was the biggest controversy?
Biggest controversy? There's so many of them. I mean, once, when I did my Lincoln, well, immediately you've got it's a vested interest with a lot of teachers who don't really have much sense of Lincoln or politics, but feel that it's their territory. And boy, they get very territorial. So I was forced to write a lot of disciplinary letters to the New York Review of Books.
Boy, you had a running battle with the New York Times, didn't you?
I still do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And he says with a smile on his face.
Oh, yes.
What's the smile part?
It's a baring of teeth to show that I still bite.
I look at I love it when you call Johnny Carson John, as you write about him. Yeah. And think of the relationship with, say, Tennessee Williams and Garbo and Amelia Earhart and all these, Jack and Jackie Kennedy and all these incredible people in your life. Is there something unique, special, different about these people who become celebrated?
Well, there must be, and that was probably talent, but I don't know that I have ever analyzed that. What they mean to me is that in life's journey, you don't find many people that you're not only on the same wavelength with, but you can laugh with. And that was the charm of Johnny Carson. And that was certainly the charm of Tennessee Williams, who has been portrayed as this lugubrious, sad, weepy old thing. And he was one of the funniest writers around. And when melodramatists like Gadge Kazan got hold of him, they turned him into tragedy. Same thing happened to Chekhov. Chekhov was a very funny writer, but Stanislavski turned him into a weeper, and he wasn't one at all. So I thought I would take on some characters that had been so misrepresented that I'd better clear it up as much as possible.
Do you say the American novel is dead?
No, the readers are dead.
Oh, the readers are dead.
Yeah.
I see.
We've always had better writers than we've had readers. That's the educational system, or lack of same.
You say that half of the Americans don't even read the newspaper, huh?
Well, they're the lucky half, too.
There's a lot but you say the television and films, movies in particular, tell us an awful lot about our culture.
They did. The first talking movies were very, very important. Though I remember having a conversation with Lillian Gish, who was a star of silent movies. And she said, "Oh, talkies ruined everything." And we were sitting like this on television. I said, "What do you mean to me? I know what great things you did in the silent movies." But when the movies began to talk, she said, "We lost the world. Everybody, every worker in the fields in China watched our movies. And they understood them, because it was a whole different type of acting that we were doing. So as soon as they talked, they don't know English, and we talk English, so we lost the Chinese workers in the field." And I said, "Well, I'm glad they talked anyway."
A last question. There are some people, I hope, who are listening to our conversation who might be still reading. Who would you have them read? What would you have them read?
Of me, I would have them read Creation. It was written to instruct, I hope, the whole country. One man, had he lived to be 75, could have known Socrates, the Buddha, Confucius, Zoroaster. Unlikely, but I invent such a character. So it's a crash course in those religions and philosophies. Not myself, I would say Calvino, Italo Calvino. Most of his work, he's Italian, has been translated into English very well. And I think he's just wildly funny and fascinating. Read Cosmic Comics. I mean, it's just wild. I think everybody would be delighted by Calvino, and better for having read him.
I thank you for the half hour together.
Thank you.
It was a delight to see you once again. We did it 15 years ago. Perhaps we'll do it again sometime down the road. I don't know if it will be 15 years, but I hope so.
Yeah, I think you should touch wood.
Thank you, Gore Vidal. Thank you.
Visit